Hey, how y'all doing out there? Back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to do my review of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now I've had this phone for a couple of weeks now, and I like to tell you about the things that I do like and the things that I don't like. First off, the first thing I like about this device is the build quality. The build quality on this phone is awesome. It's great. It's excellent. I like this stainless steel sides. I love this matte finish on the back, and it feels very solid in the hand, and it has a nice good heft to it. So I love the build quality. Next thing I like the look of the phone. Now, initially when I first saw the renders of this phone and I saw this camera module, I thought it was hideously ugly. And I'm like, nobody's going to buy that ugly phone. But after actually going to Best Buy and actually picking this up and seeing it in person and holding it in hand, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't look that bad in person. And some people may just still feel like it's ugly. But I'm just here to tell you, I like it. I think it has a very unique look to it. And now you see like Google Pixel trying to come out with this square thing, and maybe the S11 may have a square camera module like this. So, you know, Apple knew what they were doing. And like I said, I like the look of the phone. I also like the way the phone feels. Like I just said, I like the way it feels in the hand. All right. So that's number one. Number two is I like the software. Now, I got to tell y'all, the software on this phone, I can't really explain it except to say that it is buttery, buttery smooth. I've had the best software experience on this phone more than any other phone I've ever owned. Now, I've heard this a lot, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos with, other reviewers, and they always say how buttery smooth iOS is, and I just thought they were just, overrating it and all this and that. But once I got the phone in hand and started going back and forth in and out of apps, I've never experienced any software that is this smooth. Not even OnePlus 7 Pro is as smooth as this phone. It's just not to me, not in my opinion. Now, mind you, I'm basing this all on my experience with the device and my opinion. So somebody's opinion and experience is going to differ from mine. But I'm just telling you from my experience, this is the smoothest software experience I've ever had. I mean, it's unbelievably fast and buttery smooth. In and out, in and out, in and out. Like, I'm telling you, I love it. I wish that Samsung had the buttery smoothness of this phone. But it don't, but I still love my Note 10 Plus. So it's cool. All right. Next thing I like about this device is the cameras. Now, as you can see, it has 3 cameras on the rear and it has 1 on the front. Now, just to tell you, this phone takes phenomenal pictures. It really does. The night photos are very good, and also the pictures in the daytime are excellent. I mean, they really are. The front-facing camera is good, but in my opinion, based on my experience and comparing the photos as far as the front-facing camera, to me, the Pixel still has a better front-facing camera, in my opinion. Okay. As far as the video quality and stabilization, it's very, very good. So I had no issues with the camera, and I had no issues with the video quality. It's very good. And the fact that it shoots 60 frames per second on the front, on the back of the phone with all the cameras and on the front. So that's pretty impressive. So no issues with the camera. The cameras are great. Next thing, the battery life. Now, they weren't lying when they said 5 hours of more battery life than the XS Max of last year. This battery life on this phone is ridiculous. Light to medium use, you can get easily 2 days, maybe 2.5 days, literally. The battery is that good on this device. The battery life on this device, in my opinion, and I'm not going to be biased, and I'm just going to speak the truth. The battery life on this device is better than the battery life on my Note 10 Plus. It just is. The way Apple optimized the battery on here through their software is great. Now, my average is about 2 days of battery life, and I use my phones heavy. I got the brightness on max. I'm looking at videos all day. I'm listening to music. I'm surfing the net. I'm doing text messages. The phone battery is a beast. So you're not going to have any issues with the battery. The battery life is phenomenal. Next thing, Face ID. The Face ID is great. It's fast, it's accurate, and it's secure. No issues with the Face ID. Now, I actually do have one issue, but I'll get to that with the things I don't like. But the Face ID in itself is great. It always catches my face. No mixes, no mess up. The minute it catches your face from like the least angle, it's unlocking that device. And I'm talking quick. So the Face ID is great. Next thing, 5 years of software updates. iPhone, or Apple, I should say, supports their devices longer than any other manufacturer on the planet. And this is why I believe their resale value for the devices, they hold their resale value. They retain their, their value longer than Android phones because they support their phones longer. And I don't know why Android won't take notes from Apple and support their phones longer than 2 years or 3 years. They should at least do 3 years minimum and maybe get at least a 4. And their phones won't lose value so quickly. So kudos to Apple for supporting their phones for 5 years. That's really good. I really like that about them. Next thing, the speakers. The speakers on this device is excellent. Dual firing speakers, great quality of sound. They're loud and they have a nice full sound to them. Now, my Note 10 Plus has really great stereo speakers as well, but I must admit that the speakers on this device, as far as the full sound, the fullness of the sound, they sound more full. They sound actually a little bit better on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, it pains me to say that, but it's just true. Now, my Note 10 Plus is louder, but these speakers on here sound more full. They just have a fullness of sound that just sounds better, and I like that, okay? Just being honest, y'all, just keeping it real. Next thing, the apps are better optimized on iOS because they make them for iOS first. So the apps run a lot better on iOS than they do Android. That's just fact, okay? Next thing I like about this device, it has wireless charging. Even though it doesn't have fast wireless charging, but it does have wireless charging. Next thing I like about this device, it has IP68 water and dust resistance. Okay, I like that. You want that peace of mind. Next thing I like the dark mode. You know, everybody's going dark mode now. And this phone has the dark mode as well. And I use it. Open up the phone. Okay. Sorry, it's not going to catch my face from behind the camera. Okay, go to settings. Oh, I thought I had it in dark mode. Maybe I took it out by accident. Let me see. I thought I had it in dark mode. I must have took it out without realizing it. Well, it doesn't matter about putting it in dark mode now, but just to tell you, I really do like the dark mode on here. I did have it on there earlier. I must have took it out without realizing it. All right, so those are all the things that I like about the device. I like the build quality. I like the software. I like the cameras. I like the battery, Face ID, 5 years of update, stereo speakers, the apps that are optimized better on iOS, wireless charging, water and dust resistance, and the dark mode. Those are all the things that I like about the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, let's get into the things. Oh, first, let me get into the things that are not relevant to me. Now, these things probably are important to most iPhone users, but they're not relevant to me because I'm not a iOS user. I just don't do Apple. So this is why these things that I'm going to list to you now are not relevant to me. Meaning they're not important to me. They're just not. Okay. First thing is FaceTime. FaceTime is good and it's great for people that use it. I never used it. I don't like to look at the person that I'm talking to when I'm talking on the phone. That's not something that I would like to do. I prefer just talking to somebody, normally. I don't want to look at the person I'm talking to. That's just not how I do. So FaceTime doesn't mean anything to me. It's irrelevant. iMessage, not important to me. I know it has its quirks and things about it that makes it real special, and animations and emojis and all the stuff that goes with it, and you the blue bubble or the green bubble or whatever bubble. I don't care about iMessage. It's not important to me, okay? Next thing, AirDrop. AirDrop is awesome. It's good how Apple seamlessly works with all their devices and how you could text message from different devices and you shoot photos. It'll drop on all your Apple devices. Like, I think that's really cool, and I think that's great. And Android hasn't caught up to Apple yet when it comes to, working seamlessly with other devices. So, but the reason why it's not important to me because I don't have anything else Apple. I just don't. I'm not in the ecosystem. So AirDrop is meaningless to me. And the very last thing is the Apple ecosystem altogether. I'm not in it. So it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm not trapped, like so many people that have so many devices synced up to their phone. I don't have that issue because I'm not in the ecosystem. So it's not going to be a problem for me to move on. All right. So those are the 4 things that are not relevant to me. Now, let me get into all the things that I don't like about the device, and then I will be finished. The first thing I don't like about this device is the price. $1,100 is too expensive. It's just too much. These phones are getting out of control with these prices. Even the Note 10 Plus, and I said it before in my review of that phone, I don't like the price. It's too expensive. $1,000 for a smartphone is too much money. I don't care what they put on it. It's too much. So the first thing I don't like is the price. Now, for the 64 gig model, $1,100. For the 256 model, $1,300. For the 512, $1,500. It's ridiculous. Okay. Next thing I don't like about this device is this thing right here, that big ugly notch. I absolutely hate it. I hate that. Okay. So that's the next thing I hate about this phone. I don't like notches. I don't like something that this deep cut out into my display, taking away display real estate. I don't like that. Okay. All right. That should have been number 1, but it's definitely number 2. All right. The next thing I don't like about this device, no always on display. Now that's something I love about Samsung and LG and other devices, that always on display. See, I like that. Being able to look at the time, the date, the day, the battery percentage, and getting my notifications. I need that. Some people don't care, but I need that. I love always on display. So that's the next thing I don't like about the phone. No always on display. Next thing, no in-display fingerprint sensor, and no fingerprint sensor at all. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, you don't need it. You got Face ID. That's good enough. Well, like I said, I'm the type of person that like options. I like to be able to have, I think they should at least make it where you can have more than one biometric way to open your device. Like, why couldn't you just put a fingerprint sensor underneath the display or on the back of the phone? Like, some people may not like Face Unlock. Like, give people options. The thing I like about Samsung and other companies, they give you a lot of options. Like, I have facial unlock on my Note 10. I also have the fingerprint sensor. So I at least have 2. Now, with the Note 9, you had the iris sensor as well. That's something I hope Samsung put back on the device, that iris sensor. I love that. I had 3 biometric ways to open the device. And then you had your pattern, your PIN, and your password. So you had like, what was it, 1, 2, 3, you had 6 different ways to open up your device. And you could open it up with your voice too. So I like that. So I don't like just having one biometric way of opening my device. So I don't like the fact that they don't have a fingerprint sensor on here at all. Don't like that. Next thing, no fast wireless charging. Now that might not be the biggest deal in the world because at least it has wireless charging. But I get spoiled by Samsung having fast wireless charging, okay? Now, y'all may think that's petty, and that's okay if you feel like that's a petty gripe, but that's what I don't like. So this is my review. All right, next thing. Only 64 gigs of internal storage. Now, to me, that is an absolute travesty and a complete joke. $1,100, and I can't get more than 64 gigs of internal memory? Are you kidding me? And I just did review 3 $200 phones that had started out with 128 gigs of internal memory. And you mean to tell me for $1,100 plus tax, which you're probably looking at about $1,200, I can't get 128 gigs? That's a travesty. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that, Apple. Seriously. That's nothing but a cash grab. Because at minimum, this phone should have started with 128 gigs, then 256, and then 512. So I don't like that. Next thing, no expandable memory. So you're going to give me 64 gigs, which is not enough at all because people that shoot a lot of video, 4K video, store a lot of apps and, do a lot of different things on their phone, 64 gigs is going to run out really quick, and then you're going to have to pay for cloud storage. And there's people that don't want to do that. There's some people that can't afford to do that. So I don't like the fact that you can't even expand the memory. If they at least gave you an option to have expandable memory, the 64 gigs is not that big of a deal. But the fact that they don't give you that option, that's why the 64 gigs is a complete joke. So I don't like that. Next thing I don't like, no dongle in the box. So we already know there's no headphone jack on here. So you mean to tell me you can't even give me a dongle in the box? And the thing about it, they used to give you a dongle with the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, and all of a sudden with the iPhone 10, they decided not to put the dongle in the box anymore. Like, what is that all about? And that thing is only like maybe $5. And you mean to tell me you can't give me a dongle? It's ridiculous. $1,100, you can't even put a dongle in the box. It's ridiculous. Next thing, no case in the box. Now, you could at least give me one of these. One of these clear gel cases. Just one in the box. $1,100, y'all. $1,100. So that's ridiculous that you can't even give me one case. And this case is not even expensive. This case costs $5. And you can't even give me a case. It's not cool. I don't like that. Next thing, no built-in screen protector. Now, why couldn't $1,100, you can't even give me a screen protector either? You can't put a screen protector on the phone? Now, okay, if I don't like it, I could take it off and put, a white dome on there or whatever. But you should at least put one on there. At least Samsung did that with their Note 10 Plus. They already had a screen protector built on the phone already, and so did OnePlus. So think about that price, y'all. Basically $1,200 because you're gonna pay taxes on that $1,100. $1,200, no dongle, no case, no screen protector. That's not cool. It's just not. Next thing, no multitasking. Now, for y'all that don't understand what multitasking is, let me show you what it is. It's being able to use 2 apps at the same time. Okay? Let me give you an idea. Say I want to open up. Let me see. Pull up something. Okay, I'm going to pull up YouTube. All right. So now, say I want to do something else. Say if I want to check out this. I hold this and I go down. So now I got YouTube running up here and I'm checking out my battery percentage. 2 things at the same time. That's multitasking. Okay. You can't do that on iPhone. And that's a shame because I'm told with their iPad or something they got out there, you could actually multitask on it. But I don't know why they wouldn't put that on the phone. Just like with the always on display, You get always on display on the Apple Watch, but no always on display on the phone. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. So that's another thing that I just don't like. All right. The next thing, no on-screen navigational buttons. Now, let me show you that really quick on my note. And I'm not doing a comparison video, but I just want to show you what I'm talking about for those that may not know. So we're going to scroll down to to display, sorry. Then go to navigation bar. Because right now I got it on full screen gestures. So at least they give you the option to at least have the on-screen navigational or the full screen. You got an option with Apple. You just got gestures. That's it. So you press navigation buttons right here. Now you can see right here at the bottom, I got a back button, I got a home button, and I got a recently used apps button. And that's convenient. You know why? Because it's at the bottom. So I don't have to always go all the way up here in the corner on the Apple phone just to go back. Like, that's annoying. Like, why can't you give me the option of having on-screen buttons and the gesture? At least you give me an option. That's what I like about Android. They give you options. Now, some people, like I said, don't care about having options, but I like options. Okay? That's what I like. Now, like I said, these are the things that I don't like. All right, next thing. No clear all on the recently used apps. I don't like that either. So I think it's swipe up and to the right. Okay. So you got all of these open. All of these apps open. You can't close them all at once. You got to do this one at a time. Like, who wants to do that? That's annoying. Why can't you just put a clear all button and just get rid of all of them at the same time? That's ridiculous. Unlike my phone, you could go in. See that? Close all. Press that. Close everything out. Then when you go back to read, nothing open. That's convenience. That's what you want. Android is all about options. And that's what you want. All right. Next thing I don't like about this device. No app drawer. Once again, pick this phone up, no app drawer. All your apps are just everywhere. Just from page to page to page. No app drawer. I don't like that. Whoop. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. Let me show you on my note. See right down here, this button right here? Open that up. These are where all my apps is. See? All my apps is tucked away in my app drawer. I like that. Now, when I don't have them all over the place like Apple do, see, you got, in here you got my verse of the day, my widget. Then you got a calendar widget. Then I got a news widget. Then I got all the apps, other apps that I use. Then I got a Bible verse up here that I like. See, that's what I like. It's about options, it's about choices. I like that. Okay. And as you can see, I have a weather widget up here with the time. And then I got something that reminds me of the next important event I got to do. Then I have my step count down here. And I got all my apps in these little folders. See, it's all about options. That matters, y'all. At least to me. I know it doesn't matter to some of you out there. And that's fine. That's what makes us all different. We like different things. But that's something I don't like. Can't hide the notch with software. I don't like that you can't hide this notch. And that's a shame because, you know, with Android, with certain phones, you could go into settings and you could completely just have a black bar come all the way across the top. With this, of course, you can't do that. Even having a dark mode, you can still pretty much see it, and especially when you're trying to watch movies. And I'll give you an idea. Let's see. Play this. Now with this scene, you can't see it. See? See that big cutout right there? Like, I can't stand that. That's ugly. Like, why would you want to deal with that? And you can't get rid of it. I hate that.
What it sounds like. Only to make conversation.
I hate that. So that doesn't work for me. I don't like the fact that you can't even hide it. Like, it's just there in your face all the time. And some people, a lot of people, of course, they get used to it. And that's fine. I can't get used to that. I don't like notches. Okay. All right. Next thing, no customization throughout the whole UI. Like you just can't customize this phone. The only thing you could do is make folders with the apps. That's what I did with this one. With my mostly used apps, I made a folder and I got rid of a lot of apps that I don't use just so I could see, my picture here. And the thing that I really hate too, you can't even take these and bring them down lower to where you can get to them. Like you can't even do that. Like that's just a joke to me. You can't even bring those apps down where it's easier for you to reach. If you're trying to handle the phone one-handed, you gotta go all the way, like stretch your thumb just to get to the top. Like that's ridiculous. So no customization. Then with your widgets, look, all your widgets is just on one page. Like my widgets are throughout my whole phone. Like, see, widget, 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 widget up here, Bible verse. Then I got my weather widget up here. See, it's all about options, y'all. Like I said, I don't like that. I really don't. I know people out there saying, "Oh man, that's not a big deal," and that's good. That's fine for you, but not for me. These are things that I don't like. All right, next thing I don't like, the notifications. I don't like the way they handle notifications. Like basically you have to swipe just to get your notifications. Like with my Note, you'll see all the notifications right up here at the top. And then of course you can see them on your always on display. So I like the way that Android does notification. Then I can just take my thumb and just swipe down like this and I can get all my notifications. Now I'm not really getting any right now, but I usually get tons of notifications. But it's nice that I can just take my thumb and just swipe right down just like that from anywhere on the screen. Anywhere on the screen, as you can see. I'm going to show you. Anywhere on the screen at the bottom. Boom. Brings my notification shade right down. And then also if I want to access other toggles, Samsung's One UI brings everything down where it's easy for you to get to it. And I like that. Okay? So I don't like the way Apple handles notifications. I don't like it. All right. Next thing. Can't move the apps to the bottom of the display. I already went over that. The next thing I don't like, no back button at the bottom of the display. So like I said before, every time you go into something, say I go into, let's just say, okay, just anything. Just go into this. See, the back button is all the way up here. Like, why couldn't you have a back button down at the bottom? Why do I always got to go up here to do this? Like, that's annoying. Like, why can't... The phone is already tall. The phone is already very tall and large. And you mean to tell me you can't give me the option of having a back button at the bottom? Like, I always got to keep going way up here? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Not at all. Okay? Now, with this phone, of course, you can see the back button right here. Now, I know y'all saying, oh, you could use the full screen gestures. There's some people that might not like using gestures. They might just want a button. So why not give them the option of having just a button right down here at the bottom where it's convenient for them to press it and just go back? Like, it should never... Apple's this kind of company that is one size fits all, and it shouldn't be that way because we're all different and we're all unique and we all like different things. So why not give people options? Okay. And the last thing I don't like about this device, and then I'm finished, is when you use the Face ID. Use the Face ID, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to open it up. Okay. So as you can see up here, it's unlocked. You can't, it won't even jump right into the phone. You got to swipe up. Like, I don't like that. I think that's ridiculous. After it unlocks, then you got to do this. Like, why can't you have it where you give me an option where I could swipe up or it could just go right into the phone? Like with my Note, you have the option to either swipe up. You have the same thing that Apple could do with unlocking and swipe up, and I could just check my notifications right on my lock screen and not go into the phone. Or I could set the settings where it detects my face and it just goes right to the home screen. Why not give people that option, Apple? Like that swiping up, that's annoying for me. I just can't deal with that. I like Face ID now. I like Face, but I don't like the fact that I have to swipe up after recognizing my face. Why can't it just open the phone? Or at least give me the option for it to open the phone. For those that like to swipe up, that's fine. But give me the option to turn that off and have the phone just open right to the home page. So basically, that's it, y'all. Now, I'm going to say this again because I'm not trying to be overly negative about the phone. Now, that was 21 things I don't like about the phone. But I still will say this. This is still a great device. It really is. It has a great display. It has great battery life. It has great cameras. It has great build quality. It has great software. The battery life is phenomenal. Face ID is phenomenal. Stereo speakers are phenomenal. Apps are great. You got IP68 water and dust resistance. You got the dark mode. You got the stereo speakers, and you get 5 years of updates. This is a great device. Don't get it twisted. And I ain't trying to twist it for you. This is a great device. For those that love Apple, they're locked in the ecosystem, and they just love iOS, this is a great device. And you don't have to get the Max. You could get the 11 Pro, which is a little bit cheaper than this, a little bit. So you don't have to get this big giant phone. If you want something a little smaller, you could do the 11, just the 11 Pro, or you could just do the 11, the iPhone 11, which is a lot cheaper. It's like, I think, $699. So you got the iPhone 11, then you got the iPhone 11 Pro, and then you got the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So if this is too big and too expensive, just get the 11. Or just get the 11 Pro. All right, so that's basically my review of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Once again, I will say this. This is a great device, but it is too expensive, but it is a great device. And for those that love Apple, I believe without a doubt you will love this phone. Because if the most important thing for you is the software, the battery life, and the cameras, and the speakers, this is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Now, I'm not keeping this because, and I said this before when I had the iPhone 11, when I had the iPhone 8 Plus, I just don't like iOS. I just don't. Because I need customization. I need the freedom to do what I want to do with my phone. Now, I know as a guy at my job was just saying to me, he don't want options. He don't want this. He wants simple, and he don't want to be able to change nothing. And that's fine. Like I said, we're all different. We all like what we like, and we all dislike what we dislike. But for me, I need options. I need more features. This phone has hardly no features at all. And you can't make the phone your own. You can just move your icons around, and that's it. I don't like that. I need customization. That's what I need. So I'm not hating on Apple, but it's just not for me. I just don't like iOS at all. But the things that I said I do like, I really do like them. I really do. So that's my review of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Thank you once again for taking the time to view this content. I hope you found it helpful and useful to you when you're looking for a new smartphone. Thanks once again to all my subscribers. I do appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.